Greetings and thank you for watching this video. And it's been a hot minute since I've made a video like this for you guys on this channel too. So I know I've been just MIA for quite some time, but I've been just really, working on some personal things in my life and also too, professionally as well. But I digress when it comes to this video, and I really am just really looking forward to really just doing this reaction video, and especially when it comes to with this video called The Science of Female Gooning by, I believe her name is Universe, so shout out to her when it comes to with this video. And I just really want to make the disclaimer for anyone who's just really watching this video. This video is for educational, or should I say educational and entertainment purposes only, and it's for a mature audience as well. So if you're under 18, I really suggest you to really just close this video right now, because I don't want to get in trouble when it comes to with YouTube's terms of service, but also, I just really want to really share some really powerful, personal experience, but also with some powerful, insightful knowledge and personal, and not just personal, but, insight is experience when it comes to the topic of gooning, especially when it comes to relating to intimacy, when it comes to just the activity, and when it comes to the activity of gooning itself. So whether you're a man or a woman too who is an adult, just watching this too, and if you guys like gooning in a healthy way, of course too, I really want to share some really insightful knowledge for you guys too, as an integrated coach when it comes to integrated coach when it comes to experience in conscious kink and tantric healing as well. So with that mouthful as well, when it comes to with this video, I digress, and let's get this video started too when it comes to with that. So shout out to Universe, and or should I say, if I'm saying it right, Universe. And so yeah, I'm kind of showing my age too because I'm in my late 30s, but anyways, let's get on with the video. So let's get started.
Hello, chat. I have a very important topic to discuss today, and that is the topic of female gooning. And I say this because I've noticed that my YouTube metrics are not skewing more female. They're actually skewing more male, which is incredibly annoying, but whatever. I digress. It's actually great because now I get to educate my male audience on the art of female gooning, because for some reason, the thought is so foreign to my male audience that they don't even believe that female gooning is real, but it is real. It is inherently different from male gooning. They're two separate ideologies, right? It's like existentialism versus absurdism, right? Same root cause, which is horniness, but two different approaches to the same methodology, right?
That's true. And when it comes to with that, from what she's saying too, from Universe is saying, just to clarify and put some respect on her name too, when it comes to with that. And when it comes to with that, when it comes to how man goons and how woman goons too is really different. So when it comes to with that, and I can't say when it comes to with a woman's gooning experience, I have no right to say that. And if I do say that, I want you guys to call me out on that shit too when it comes to with that. But I can really just share from a man's perspective, because I have gooned too when it comes to with that, in a healthy way, of course too, when it comes to with certain women that I'm attracted to as a straight man. And especially when it comes to with that, not just like in person to the women that I'm attracted to and had a really personal relationship with, when it comes to with them being my girlfriend and all that, but also at the same time too, when it comes to with certain entertainment content, whether it be like in a book form, in a video form, or in a picture form too, when it comes to with that, or all the above too, or in the game form too. It's just like I've from my own personal experience and in-field experience, just gooned in the past and have been gooned at when it comes to with me just being the man itself, not just putting my race out there, but just really speaking in general terms too. So I digress, and she's totally right about that too. So good stuff, and let's continue.
Right. So, to begin to explain female gooning, it is important to first understand female anatomy, which then comes with hormones. So, male gooning is consistent. Male hormonal cycles are consistent, right? Men are just pretty simple creatures. They're pretty basic. You feel like gooning, you goon. That's
Yeah, and exactly. And for any men out there who are listening to this, and women too, it's really good to really just, take some notes, and especially when it comes to like with like entertainment and educational content too. If you guys want to, I'm not trying to pressure you to do anything that you don't want to do. And it's like, what the hell? Like, why are you trying to tell me what to do? Like, motherfucker. But anyways, I digress. But anyways, it's just with that too. If you guys want to learn some new perspectives when it comes to with that, just really having your, paperback journal or, computer journal in mind too, when it comes to with that, to take notes for future reference. And especially to what she's saying, but what I'm saying too, when it comes to me being an integrated coach, when it comes to conscious kink and tantric healing too, when it comes to with that. If you guys want to, of course, if you guys just want to listen and have fun and really just sharing your stories relating to this topic of female gooning or gooning in general, just you're more than welcome to do that as well. Whatever your choice too, as adults, when it comes to with that, and really just clarifying that too, to really just respect the terms of service of YouTube and my audience too, when it comes to with that, and myself. So anyways, let's get on with it.
That's pretty much it. The female gooning cycle is entirely contingent on what part of the hormone cycle that you are at. So like, for example, right? Like, I'm not going to say me, myself personally, but like, I don't know if you're like, okay, well, let me just explain here, because I'm guessing that you all have no baseline understanding of female anatomy. So the female hormone cycle lasts roughly like a month, right? And so you have your period. I know, ew, oh my God, disgusting. Okay, so that lasts probably a week, right? Actually, so the period itself, personally, not that bad, but okay. Oh, so your period starts, that's 1 week. The next week, another week goes by, right? You're off your period, and it's all building up towards ovulation, which is when the female gooning cycle peaks, right? So like when you're ovulating, that's when you're gooning, I don't know, like 4 to 10 times a day. Like you're gooning like crazy during the ovulation portion. And then like it kind of declines. And then the week before your period happens. So 4 weeks total, right? The first week is your period. The second week is leading up to the gooning cycle. So you're gooning more and more every day, leading up to the ovulation. And then ovulation, you're gooning like crazy. And then the week after that, you're still gooning. And then the week after that, you're a fucking bitch. Life sucks, bro. You feel like the walls are caving in. You feel like, why am I alive? Like, it's like,
just for any women out there who are subscribed to my channel, is this like a similar feeling for you when it comes to being in the ovulation cycle and just really going through that, and you just feel like a completely different person? That, I don't know, I just really want to ask you, to all the women out there who are listening, and not just listening but watching this reaction video too, is it like a similar experience to you, or if it's totally different? Because when it comes to with women who like to goon, and just really saying that too, I know different women really goon in different ways. I know like they like to watch certain videos, or they like to do it in person, if they like to read it in a book form, whether it be like, paperback or online presentation, however you want to call it too, when it comes to with that. Or a combination of both, or all the above too, when it comes to with that. And even just like in person too, for any, and to certain women who like to goon and like to show that form of admiration, which is, if you really just break it down, like gooning is like it's like a kinky form of admiration. It's kind of like you're really desiring when it comes to a certain people who you're attracted to, that really just get your interest. When it comes to, if you're looking at a certain video, if you see a certain someone who you're really attracted to, whether you're a man or a woman too, when it comes to with that, it's just like, oh shit, like they're hot as fuck, or anything like that. Or if they're just like, damn, she got a good body. Or when it comes to with other people who are attracted to the opposite sex, like for a woman, for example, who's attracted to another man, or if she's attracted to the same sex, if she's attracted to another woman, she'll be saying, admiring their body, not just their body, but also with their, their values, who they are as a character, and so on and so forth. If they're reading it or if they're listening to it in the audio form when it comes to the audiobook, or if they're reading it when it comes to the paperback form or online presentation too, or if they're watching it in the video too when it comes to that, or in other cases, if they're attracted to someone in person that they want to just connect with, or if they want to just want to have like a really strong connection with too, that could be it as well. And it could be applied for men too, but for men it's totally different, because I know men were mostly visual creatures. From my own personal experience as a man, when we see a beautiful person, whether it be the opposite sex or the same sex, we tend to really just say to ourselves like, damn, that's a fine motherfucker right there. And just really saying that too when it comes to with that, as a man, I say that too sometimes, but I don't say it outwards. I keep it inwards too when it comes to with that. And that alone too, when it comes to with just really gooning responsibly, just really keeping that to yourself, because if you really just express that outwards, it can also lead you to a lot of trouble too when it comes to with that. So I just really want to address it for anyone, for any adult out there who like to goon, but to also goon in healthy ways that's appropriate, that's healthy. And we're just really doing that in a safe space where it's appropriate. And if you're really just doing that with yourself, if you're single, and if you're with a partner too, or if you have like a long-term partner too, you can really just, admire them as well. And if you guys like to goon together too and watching certain content when it comes to with like a video, or reading a magazine, or even just like listening to an audiobook or reading a book too, when it comes to that, then that's cool too. So I just really want to share that too. But yeah, let's continue with the video.
Genuinely, like, the week before your period, it's like what the Roman Empire is to men. Like, genuinely, it's all encompassing. You feel dreadful. You want to fucking eat everything. You look in the mirror, you're like, damn, that's a fat, ugly bitch. Your skin's breaking out. Your life sucks. It feels like no one will ever love you. And then your period comes and you're good. You're good. You're regulated again. And then you have 2 weeks of like crazy goonerism, and then you go back to being a bitch again, right? So it's like that's kind of like, in layman's terms, that is how the female hormonal cycle works. But it actually works pretty effectively, because women are good at regulating their emotions, because this hormone cycle exists and you were prepared for it. You're prepared to be a bitch. You're prepared to eat everything in sight and then fucking look in the mirror and hate yourself. And then you're prepared to have your period, and then you're prepared to goon again. And it's great because
like it could be different for most women too, because women, I mean, from my own personal experience, just being certain women from around the globe too, whether they're from Mexico, if they're from America, if they're from certain parts of Europe, if they're certain parts of Asia, or South America too, when it comes to that, or Africa, or America. I think I said America too, when it comes to that. It's just, people like what they like when it comes to with certain women who are attracted to the opposite sex or the same sex or both too, when it comes to that. And it's, it can really just be different strokes for different folks when it comes to that. But I digress. And for what she's saying too is really spot on too, when it comes to with the woman's anatomy, and just really with her just sharing her own experience too as a female gooner too, when it comes to with that. So, hey, I'm not knocking her expertise or her personal experience when it comes to with that. I just really want to add to what she's saying too when it comes to with that. So I digress too when it comes to that, because I'm a man, and I only know from a man's perspective, and I have no right to say when it comes to with a woman's perspective, because I'm not a woman. But I really do appreciate and value women too when it comes to that, and especially to the women that I know in my life too, who've have gooned to me as well, and I've gooned to them in the most healthiest ways too, as as their partner as well. So, but anyways, let's continue with the video.
Because like you have this like cycle that basically regulates your emotions for you, which is why women don't commit a lot of violent crime. They don't be out here killing people. You get what I'm saying? And so It's pretty effective. Now, to get into the logistics of female gooning, which is a completely different bucket, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
not the same as men. Men watch gooner material, usually in the form of video, usually in
Yeah, that's true too. Sometimes it could be in the form of a video. It could be in in the form of a magazine, especially back. I mean, I sound like a uncle right now. So back
No,
in my
no, no.
day, there used to be magazine. I mean, there still is magazines too, where men can really just purchase and they can really just read certain articles about certain models, and then they can look at the pictures too and goon at it too when it comes to it. That's like the old school way too. Nowadays, you got the internet, which is totally like a cyber jungle out there too, if you really just want to break it down like that. It's like a cyber jungle out there. There's all sorts of stuff that's just blows my perspective when it comes to with like entertainment and all sorts of stuff too when it comes to with that. And there's a lot of crazy stuff out there when it comes to not just on the internet but also on social media as well. So but again, it's just like when it comes to men, we're mostly pretty simple. And I can't speak for all men. I can only speak for myself. And just like with me, like, I'm a pretty simple guy. I like, I'm a straight man, of course, I know. And it's just with that. And it's just like, if I see a beautiful woman, and I like to admire her in a healthy way too, not just like, her body shape, but also like how she presents herself, how she carries herself, how she treats other people, what her values are, and so on and so forth, and a mixture of all the above too. So that's what I like to go in that too, not just the physical aspects, which is actually the topic of this video too. Just really sticking to the topic, but I like to just really get to deeper into the topic as well as an integrated coach, when it comes to with conscious kink and tantric healing, because when it comes to gooning, it can really just be more than just the physical. It can also be emotional, mental, and most cases physical, and even spiritual too. So it's like, hey, it can be a mixture of all the above, and with me personally, and I can only speak for myself and not all men too, for me personally, I like to explore all avenues when it comes to just gooning too, especially towards the opposite sex, in a healthy way, of course, when it's appropriate, and especially when it's consensual too, when it comes to with that, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I'll explain more about that too as the video progresses. So let's continue. I'll let her Umiverse to speak.
in the form of the internet, and that's how they goon. Women don't goon to things that they can directly see in front of them, right? Women
Just to add to that too, I mean, from my own personal experience as a man, and especially being gooned at by certain women too, I know most women are pretty subtle about that because they don't want to be labeled in a certain way by society as being like, slutty or, anything like that too, which, I hate to say that word too, slut. It's like, ugh. It has a bad taste in my mouth too, in my personal perspective too. That's just me. But when it comes to with that, just like women who are just gooning at certain people, and especially if it's the opposite sex, with with me as a man too, I don't even notice because I'm tend to be just like, just not narrow-minded, but also just simple-minded too. Sometimes I don't, I know how to read the room, but sometimes when I'm out and about in society, I can't tell who's gooning at me too when it comes to with that. But if I'm with my dad, for example, and he's like, hey, you notice that woman is checking you out, right? I was like, really? Like, what the hell? It's like, bruh. It's like, I didn't know that. And then when I noticed that my dad tells me what this woman looks like, I was like, oh shit, okay, that's cool, and it can really just boost a man's self-esteem if a attractive woman that he's attracted to is gooning at him in a really subtle and sneaky and tactical way too when it comes to with that. So when it comes to what that, not to put what she's saying too, I just really want to add to it. It's just like, oh shit, like It's just, when it comes to the gooning, it's, women can really just be visual as well, but sometimes they're more subtle and, tactical as well, because you can't even tell, especially from a man's perspective too, when it comes to what that, I can't speak for all men too, because maybe some men can notice if when it comes to a certain women are gooning at them too. And if a man knows that, then hey, he's got a skill I want to know too when it comes to it that. So gotta comes to it with that. But anyways, I'm kind of repeating myself right now. And that's like a habit of mine for anyone who's new to my channel. When it comes to me having Asperger's, I tend to repeat myself sometimes too. Or maybe I have ADHD, I don't know. But I digress too. I don't want to assume that, when it comes to it that anything. But but yeah, it's just, I know women are visual too, and sometimes they keep it to themselves. In most cases, most women people are built different too. So when it comes to it, then not to, categorize any kind of sex, whether it's a man or a woman too. So people are built different, and, it's good to really acknowledge that as well. So, men and women can be visual, and some men and women aren't visual too when it comes to that. But I can't speak for all men and women, if that makes sense. So I can only speak from my own personal experience. Hopefully that made sense. And let's continue, because I'm all over the place just talking right now and trying to do my best to share my advice too when it comes to it that, from personal, or should I say personal in-field experience when it comes to with, being a gooner, but also being gooned at, from different women too when it comes to, the science of female gooning. But anyways, let's continue.
Women goon to ideas. Women goon to concepts of a plan. That's what women goon to. So, for example, I'll give you an example, right? I would argue, one would argue, and one is me, that most women don't even goon to video. And I'm not gonna say all women. And maybe they goon to everything, right? Maybe they goon to this and the next thing I'm about to mention.
That's exactly
I would say a good portion of women goon to books. It's not even video. It's not even, I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm not shitting you. And okay, and if men understood what female gooner book material says, they would be absolutely blown out of the fucking water.
Like with the 50 Shades of Grey. And I learned this too in the Conscious Kink certification course that I took too, I think it was not recently, but, a while back, like a year ago. And it's just like, wow, like I didn't know that 50 Shades of Grey, the books too, had a really cultural impact, or even the movie series as well. So it's just with that, I was like, holy crap, like, not to put in God's name like that, but I'm just saying, like, in a surprising perspective, like, oh shit, like, 50 Shades of Grey has a really cultural impact in the West too, and all over the globe possibly too, when it comes to with that, from certain women who like to read those kind of stories and read how kinky and weird and wild those stories are too when it comes to with that, and even just watching the movie series as well when it comes to with certain ones. So it's like, oh shit, like damn, and like, too, I only heard about the series. I don't even remember watching 50 Shades of Grey, but with me as a man, just really, watching certain content and even reading certain content too when it comes to an audio form, or just reading it in a magazine too when it comes to with pictures and, autobiographies and all that too. It's like, oh shit, this woman's got it going on, and she looks good too when it comes to the pictures and modeling pictures and all sorts of stuff too. Back in the day when I was reading certain magazines, it's like, oh shit, like when it comes to with that. And it's like, oh shit, that's a bad motherfucker right there. Excuse my language, but I'm just keeping it real here. So, yeah, it's just one of those things too. And yeah, it's just, with that, like I was saying before, people are built different. And, if women like to goon at all sorts of stuff too, when it's in the video form or in the book form or in the audio, or listening to in the audio form, in a healthy and consensual way when it comes to with themselves and with their partners too, if they're in the same sex or the opposite sex, and if they're okay with that with each other, then that's cool too. So I digress, and let's continue.
I've read some female gooner literature that is so incredibly disgusting, that is so decrepit and from fucking hell, that I had to like wash my eyes after reading the shit.
Oh,
you know, after I goon naturally. Damn. Because it's actually fire. But like,
holy
but
shit.
My thing is, it's like I think this is the fundamental difference between female and male goonerism. It's not some like dopamine hit you chase by like watching these people, and you form like weird attachments to these people that you're watching in like video and gooner video. It's more so like you're actually reading the gooner material and you're envisioning whoever the fuck you want in your head.
And that's the thing too. It's just like people who can do that, and especially women as well. Whether it be like with the gooner material, if they're watching a video, if they're watching a movie, if they're watching a TV show, or if they're playing a video game, or if they're reading a book, or if they're listening to an audiobook, they can really envision that in their mind too, or especially experiencing that in their body as well. If you really just want to get, you know, I don't know if say spiritual about it too. What the hell? And it's really embodying that with their nervous system, with their energy. It's like, oh shit, like they can really just envision just being there, experiencing being that character when it comes to just gooning with certain characters, or, you know, characters that they're attracted to, or even just, you know, not just with that, but also just experiencing that with their partners as well. If their partners is seeing them just gooning to certain women or men too, they might get excited, or they might be just curious, like, what the hell is going on? So I digress. That's their business. I'm just really sharing from, you know, experience from other people, what they tell me too, when it comes to with that. Yeah, but I digress when it comes to with that. And so let's continue.
And so like really, I think the core difference is women goon to shit that isn't even like either way, the shit you're gooning to isn't real, right? But with women, it's slightly more rooted in reality, because like you can envision whoever the fuck you want doing the stinky, nasty gooner literature material behavior.
Yeah, that's true too. And it's like I can't say what I actually want to say too when it comes to what certain women like, when it comes to a certain desires, when it comes to with intimacy and sexuality, just really respecting YouTube's terms of service, which I totally get. But, you know, from my personal experiences, from what women have shared with me, and from not only just, you know, gooning to certain people that they like and what they saw, what they've seen on certain movies and television and video games, and even just listening to it in the audio form and reading it in the paperback book form too, and especially on their computer, and especially and when it comes to this gooning to certain people that they're attracted to in person and in their own personal lives too, when it comes to that, and especially towards me too. It's just, I was blown away. I was like, oh shit. And especially when it comes to being gooned at, and this is where I'm going to share my personal in-field experience when it comes to being gooned at, because it's like, even as a man too, like I had instances where like I was sharing about how my dad was telling me that certain women are, you know, are attracted to me, but also at the same time, I had experiences where certain women wanted to sleep with me and want to have like a sexual experience, and really just gooning at, you know, when it comes to with what I'm wearing and what I smell like and all sorts of stuff too when it comes to with that. And it was some wild experiences, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt really good about it too when it comes to being gooned at by certain women that I was attracted to. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna keep it real. So it's like, hey, it's cool. It's a really good feeling, but at the same time too, it's just like I know some people are not comfortable with that, and that's okay too. It's really good to, you know, honor your own boundaries, and when it comes to with that, and you know, when it comes to letting people know, when it comes to just sharing your boundaries and telling them like, hey, I don't feel comfortable just experiencing that as well when it comes to being gooned at. So I digress too when it comes to with that, and let's continue. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the video too when it comes to with that, by the way, too. So if you guys want to hype up the video, if you guys can, feel free to do so.
Right. And so I think that this is like the core fundamental difference between male and female gooning, right? It's not only the hormone cycle, right? It's like it spikes and then it lessens or whatever the fuck. I feel like men just I don't know. I feel like I don't know what it's like to be a man, but I'm imagining you wake up and you're just like, I feel like gooning today, and you just goon.
Yeah, and as a personal experience as a man too, like, you know, we get like energetic hard-ons when we wake up in the morning too, and especially when our bodies feel rested. And for me personally too, like from personal experience, I'm not going to get too detailed with it, but when it comes to with you know, waking up in the morning and you feel this energetic like sensation that's just really strong from your reproductive organs, to where it's just like you want to just release that kind of energy and you want to just goon that certain people that you're attracted to, like with your girlfriend or for your wives, or certain characters that you're attracted to on certain media, whether it be in a video game, in a movie, or in just like you know, TV shows too. But at the same time, like, you know, what I've learned too from just, you know, practicing tantric activities when it comes to with energetic transmutation, and with that energetic transmutation is a way of just really, you know, taking that energy when it comes to from your reproductive organs and really just applying it everywhere in your body to where you can really just do some really creative stuff. Like, for example, let's say you are needing to wake up in the morning to go to work and you feel like you have like an energetic heart on right now. It's like, oh shit, like, you know, like this is happening. And what you can do, and especially if people are open to doing this, whether you're a man or a woman too, I know it could be different for different genders. It's just like for men, and then speaking to men who are listening to this, it can really just, you can really just practicing, just really, you know, like transmuting that energy to really just doing something productive to where you can really just get things done. Like, for example, getting ready to go to work, making your breakfast, making sure your room's clean, or making sure your family's okay, taking care of your kids, taking care of your, you know, your husband or your wife, or anything like that too, making sure everything is good and really using that energy to really do some creative stuff. Even if you're just staying at home, you can really just use that kind of energy to really just to clean the house, to work on the backyard, to pay some bills, to make your meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, whatever that floats your boat in a healthy way, of course, too. And just when it comes to with that, and just really using your own energy and really transmuting that in a really powerful way to really just doing some creative stuff and not being stuck in your reproductive organs or in your mind too when it comes to with that. So it's just when it comes to with that, you know, with, you know, some, you know, energetic transmutation activities that you can really just do, or activity, I should say, too, for anyone who's just listening. You can really just apply that kind of like fun activity to help you to transmute that energy to really doing some creative stuff. And especially for men and for women too, to really just doing that too. Because I know for men, it's just like, it's hard for us to focus when we have like a energetic heart on, if you want to just like have sex and want to just do that right away. But if you can really just learn, if you're willing to learn how to really just to transmute that energy to really just doing something creative and productive, that can really just help not only yourself to take care of your responsibilities, but also to really just to, how you can say it too, to really just make your day more productive in a really creative and healthy way, to really just taking care of your responsibilities as a man, to where you're taking care of your family, taking care of your responsibilities as an adult too. Then that can really just be really, really, really good stuff there too. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And yeah, so just to really add on to what Umeverse is saying too. So let's continue. Cool video so far. Cool video.
Right? It's not like that. It's not like that. As a woman, you're like, maybe there's like a 1 week period where you're like, I'm disgusting, and then there's a 1 week period where you're like, gooning isn't even an option, you know? And then there's a 2 week period where you're like, goon, 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 goon. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, let me read these gooner books real quick. Like, it's different. It's different. And also, like, I feel like men, I've noticed, or I've read, I've heard, the word around the street is, oh my God, my hair is pissing me off. Anyways, okay.
Uh-oh.
Word around the street is men goon to pictures, not possible. Maybe, and I'm not saying it's never possible. There are probably women who have gooned to photos, right? But personally, I don't know one person who's ever gooned to a photo. I don't even think that's remotely possible. But like, you know, this creates a fun.
I mean, to each their own, I guess. People got different interests in what they like to show admiration towards. It could be like in a picture. You know, pictures are worth 1,000 words. I don't have what the quote is too. So the pictures are worth 1,000 words or something. I don't know. I'm really bad at quotes, so don't quote me on that. I could be totally wrong. You guys could really correct me in the comment section when it comes to with this reaction video too. So it's just like, I know, like for men, for example, I can only speak from, you know, my own personal experience as a man. I mean, I've gooned to certain pictures that I like too, and it's like, oh, that's a beautiful woman right there too, and just really admire that in a really healthy and, you know, appropriate way too when it comes to with that as a, you know, grown woman, of course, too. Just what I'm gooning at to a grown woman, of course, you know, just really saying that. So when it comes to with that, it's like, oh shit, like, okay, you know, like this woman's got going on. It's like she carries herself, like the way that she poses, the way she carries herself, the way that her outfit just really resonates and fits her body too. It's like, oh shit, like I'm really good at this too. It's really cool. So it's just with that. That's just me, my own personal experience. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to do not want to gross you out in any shape or form too when it comes to with that. And yeah, that's, you know, to each your own, I guess. That's pretty much what I was going to say too when it comes to with that. But I know I digress from what, you know, Unme verse is saying too. Is, you know, it can really just resonate for some people too. So yeah, good stuff that she's sharing.
Mental divide, because as a woman, you don't even have to read the book for real. You can just go straight off the dome, bro. You could close your eyes off the dome, goon. And like, I just feel like for a lot of men, that's not really possible. You know, like,
yes,
they got to look at what's like.
Yeah, because we're visual creatures, and when it comes to most cases, and I can't speak for all men, but in most cases, from action, like basic scientific, you know, facts there, you know, most men are visual creatures. We like to look at what we are desiring, and especially that, you know, what we like to admire, what catches our eyes too. When it comes to it, that we're really mostly visual creatures, and especially if we're attracted to the opposite sex as well. So that's true to what she's saying too. But not all men are like that too, so I could be totally wrong about that. I do not want to assume that all men are visual creatures, because, you know, that would be a really dick move on my part to really say like all men are visual creatures. But I can really just say that from my own personal experience from talking with other men, not just men in my family, but also my friends too. They're mostly visual creatures, and some are just like mostly not. So choose your own, I guess. Not just saying that again too when it comes to with that, but I digress. But yeah, let's continue and finish the video.
Right in front of them. Like, it's not a right in front of you thing. It's like gooning is a very buildable thing. It's an imaginative thing. And that's why, like, it's like sometimes you have to think about gooning all day, and then the gooning hits harder from thinking about gooning all day. With a man, you're like, I'm thinking about gooning, I gotta go do that shit right now. Like, I feel like it's more impulsive, right? It's more like, I feel like I need a goon circle right now so that I can take care of the goonerism that's lingering on in my head. With women, it's like, you're kind of like, let me sit on the gooning idea for a little bit, and then when I inevitably goon, the gooning will be better because I thought about the gooning. Does that make sense? Like, it's like,
oh, shit.
It's not clocking.
Interesting.
Anyways,
interesting. Okay.
Since I know that my audience is predominantly male, it's like, I feel like you guys need a better understanding of the female psyche. That is this is a very valuable piece of philosophical advice I'm giving you. I'm telling you, this is how the shit works. If you don't believe me, you can not believe me. But also, like, you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm living in the
Shit.
female gooner experience. So maybe you should take
Okay.
advice from a goonette. Anyways, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so interesting video right there, and shout out to Unmeverse. So shout out to her if I'm saying her name correctly too. And if you guys ever want to check out the original video from Unmeverse too, when it comes to the science of female gooning, it'll be linked in the description below too. And if you guys ever want to check out her channel as well, it will be linked in the title of this video as well. And just really giving credit where credit's due when it comes to from the original video, because I love to support other content creators who are really dropping some really cool videos and really just giving them credit to where it belongs to. As a content creator, I like to give credit where credit's due. And again, I just repeated myself too when it comes to with that. So I digress, but I would love to know what you guys' take when it comes to with this video, and feel free to share your feelings and opinions and thoughts about this video too, and really just sharing your take on it too when it comes to with the science of female gooning, and when it comes to with the topic of intimacy and sexuality as well when it comes to with that. But when it comes to with this video, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, you guys took some notes, especially for men out there too who are just learning about the female anatomy and female sexuality too, from a healthy and educational perspective too when it comes to with that. And yeah, hopefully you guys like my reaction when it comes to with this video too. It's been a minute since I did another reaction video. I think the last video that I did too was about it was like the hot wife stories too when it comes to with that, because I'm into some interesting stuff that most people kind of take it for granted and don't have like can't grasp that too when it comes to with that. But I always tend to really just explain it from a healthy and educational way too. It's just like, what I like is really healthy and educational, and it can really just, in most possibilities, can really just, help people. So, but anyways, that's another topic for another day. But hopefully you guys like my reaction video too. If you guys want to see more videos like this, especially for this channel too, I'm gonna do my best to really just make more reaction videos and entertaining videos and other forms of content too when it comes to with my integrated coaching certifications as well, when it comes to with holistic wellness and intimacy, and when it comes to with all those things too. So, but yeah, I thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a hot minute since doing another reaction video, but I'm looking forward to making more videos and possibly going live again real soon too. I'm really on the drawing board to really just learn how I can really just be doing the reaction videos for you guys too, and also to really just share some knowledge with you guys too when it comes to with holistic wellness, intimacy, and sacred connecting too, and all those beautiful stuff too when it comes to those topics. So, but yeah, I thank you guys for watching. You guys take care, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself as a man, as a woman, whether you're straight, gay, black or white, etc. And I'm looking forward to connect with you guys again real soon. If you guys ever want to connect with me on social media, you're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram, which is linked into my links also, which is linked in the description below. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram or other forms of social media as well, even if on my Patreon, where I create exclusive content as well, which I tend to go full throttle too when it comes to with that. So you're more than welcome to check out my Patreon if you want to subscribe for free, if you want to make a pledge too when it comes to with that, supporting my work, when it comes to with creating like holistic and wellness content and other forms of content too. So, but yeah, again, I thank you guys for watching this video. You guys take care, stay healthy, and in every shape or form too, literally and metaphorically. And you guys take care. Much love and many blessings.